राज नाम तो सुना ही होगा.
Believe that MDM will play a big role in AI when it comes to the business data. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about here. Salesforce,
Yeah.
Informatica, and lots of other companies, they're already talking about it. Their data need to be ready. As we find that most of the enterprise data is not ready for AI yet.
Informatica being acquired by Salesforce clearly shows you the potential and the depth of data technology will make in your successful implementation. Innovations being built in India and being transferred to the centers like in US or UK market and such market. MDM implementation is always a luxury for enterprises.
It's a lot of money you're talking about. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
cheap to build a data center and have a pod and maintain that pod, in 180 different countries in the world. 5 years from today, we'll be talking about very different things about AI.
So enterprise data management is one space which is really booming because of these AI implementations.
I'm getting so much of advantage out of it. I've not seen that. There's a lot of talk about the AI. Is that companies are labeling their projects as AI project, but it's easy to sell to CEO and CIO, right, by labeling AI on it, but underneath they are data projects.
Whether they are implementing or they are embarking on this journey, but ROI is not there, or they are not able to measure the ROI what AI is currently going to give on all those implementations.
Right? So you're spending $1 million a year to maintain the system. You're paying the maintenance, you have people, you have a hardware, you have software licenses, but you're not hiring those 2 or 3 data stewards you need. I don't think companies can live without having the MDM system.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Datapedia. Today we have very exciting guest. If you have been in Informatica space, you have been hearing one name very predominantly. I had introduced him in a Bollywood style. Raj नाम तो सुना ही होगा. So I have Raj, CEO of Globalsoft, today with us. Hi Raj, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for inviting for the podcast, and I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Right. So, Raj, just on the industry space, we predominantly work on the same industry, on the same space. But what do you think with the current momentum going on? How are we chimed in with all these AI buzzwords and all this going on? And how important is data related to all these AI implementation?
So I can speak from the MDM
Yeah.
perspective. There's a lot of buzz, and buzz will turn into reality over the time, I believe, when it comes to AI. But from MDM perspective, I always believe that MDM will play a big role in
Mm.
AI when it comes to the business data. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about here. Of course, AI can be applied to different aspects or facets of life, but from the business perspective, MDM will play a pretty big role. Your data need to be ready before AI can be used for your business process purpose. And as you would see, the companies like Salesforce,
Yeah.
Informatica, and lots of other companies, they're already talking about it. Their data need to be ready. As we find that most of the enterprise data is not ready for AI yet. So they're starting all these different projects, but these projects, I don't think they're going to be as successful as they could be.
So one notion when we were part of these MDM implementation, one notion always with client was MDM implementation is always a luxury for enterprises. Now with the AI evaluation come, even if you are using chat GPT now, your prompt and how accurate prompts are being given is being seen as a key pivotal area. Now, do you think this will change or MDM industry will be moving from a luxury to necessity for your AI implementation?
So I'll tell you, I said this 10 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when somebody questioned me how big MDM going to be. And I said to somebody 10 years ago, it could be as big as CRM.
Mm-hmm.
I believe every company needs a MDM system
Mm-hmm.
because you look at enterprises, the amount of data they have, even medium-sized enterprises, typically will have a 10, 15 application, and larger company will have a 300, 400 different applications they use, but they collect their business data, and the data is mass. Very simple, right? So MDM can play a big role, and it is already playing a big role in a lot of enterprises. Um, I, I know it's expensive to implement MDM. I wish the cost could come down. I hope it'll come down over the time with the advances in the technologies. But I don't think company can live without MDM.
Right. No, that's very rightly pointed out, and that's what we also feel. And one of the latest acquisition which has been hitting the market currently, Informatica being acquired by Salesforce, clearly shows you the potential and the depth of data technology will make in your successful implementation. So with all these MDM implementation, one part which always remain and to see value, we always talk about how good you are with implementing these services, where partners like Globalsoft or Data Infra comes into pictures and matures with time, right? One of the major part with I have always heard about Globalsoft was on the integration side of it, about the accelerators which you guys have built, and you were a very early start of all those to make implementation successful. So how do you think that key implementation integration will play and some of the accelerator which Globalsoft is currently building?
So I've spent my last 25 years in the integration space. I
Hmm.
worked for a startup company in mid 90s where we developed the new messaging system before GMS became popular and
Yeah.
other messaging system became popular. And I always believed the integration was very important aspect of
Hmm.
moving the data around. As we know, as what I've said, that the company typically will have a small company, medium-sized company will have about 20 applications, but larger company could have hundreds of applications.
Right.
Data need to flow between those. These applications do not talk with each other. So integration has been my kind of strength, given that I have spent so much time working in that industry or that aspect of the IT industry at least. And I think the integration continue to play a big role. Companies want to have best of the breed application. They don't want to go and buy SAP and use SAP for everything, buy Oracle Financials and use Oracle Financials for everything. They will continue to buy the best of the breed applications.
Hmm.
Data will continue to be in silos and that need to be integrated somehow.
Hmm.
And so I think integration is going to play a big role. And in order to bring the data into MDM, you need integration. You do
Right.
batch integration, you do real time integration, whatever integration enterprise prefers, that's fine in my view. I don't believe that everything has to be in real time,
Hmm.
honestly. You
Hmm.
know, company can spend a lot of time doing the real time integrations, but we don't need everything in real time.
And that's where master data will always help you to get the golden data and to be synced it with not real time but almost a near real time kind of thing, and you have kept a good amount of data within your system, mastered it, which will be your true golden copy and which can be used by different AI application also. So now talking about the industry, so are you seeing the adoption being any industry specific that we usually say that compliance MDM is a very compliance heavy tool, and bankings and financial sectors requires it more than the other sectors. So do you think the retail, pharma domain and other also playing a major part with MDM
I do
implementation?
believe and it's already changing. If you notice in the last 5 6 years, the landscape has changed. It all started from pharmaceutical industry, life
Hmm.
science industry, where MDM was very, very popular.
Hmm.
Even those Cyprian days,
Hmm.
Cyprian had out of 40 customers, probably 35 customers were pharma
Oh,
customers,
okay.
right, at that time. But you look at the landscape of MDM customers today, financial companies, non-financial companies, companies, I don't want to call out any names here, but, you know, there are all kind of companies with old industry companies kind of thing, right? You know, you have a aviation company that manufacturing the engine parts, for example. You know, they're all using the MDM. So that's going to change. And as I said, I don't think companies can live without having the MDM system if
Hmm.
they really want to take advantage of the AIs, especially.
And how do you think a country like India will play the role in such implementation? Do you see a lot of offshoring coming in, and also a lot of GCC centers are being sent off? So it is just how do you visualize India as a in this technology landscape and the implementation of
I think India, as it has played for last 15 years, big role in IT industry and technology, India will continue to play those big roles because a lot of offshoring is happening. All these
it?
projects have been executed out of India now. If you look at in especially last 10 years, there have been major shift towards the generally speaking any IT projects, right?
Mhm.
Not just MDM. They all were executed out of US or respective countries, right? But now they all being executed out of India. You have sometime the business owner sitting here, you have the architect sitting here, you have the delivery manager, the product owners are sitting here. So I think India will continue to play a big role.
Yeah, I have been seeing, and being in Bangalore, one thing which we are really seeing is, we used to call this offshoring before. Now people has been changing it to saying it as global capability center, right? And one thing which they are really interested in seeing is the value which we are delivering. Previously it was more about just a resource or kind of thing, a talent is being outsourced, but now they are seeing innovations being built in India and being transferred to the centers like in US or UK market and
Yeah.
such market. So in your context, you have been part of US market for a very long, and do you see that perception of client is still there, and that is making India a very formidable hub for setting up GCCs?
I think so. Every company that I talk to, if they don't already have the center in India, they're thinking about opening the center, right?
Mm,
I see every startup company that being formed in US today, they want to make sure they do have capability center in
mm,
India where they can do hardcore engineering work, right? I have friends who work for Intel for many, many years, and
mm.
I knew the founder of the Intel India office
Okay.
30, 35 years ago. He started that. He was the founder of the Intel India office. And I used to wonder why Intel is opening office in India. And today they're designing the chip. They're not just testing the chip. They're not just doing some maintenance on the chip. They are designing from scratch. A lot of development happens today in India, out of India. So my point I'm trying to make it here is that India has been playing a very pivot role and will continue to play, and you will see more and more engineering work done, the product being envisioned, right, and developed and then delivered out
Mhm.
of India.
So always for this particular market, or for these larger implementation, GSIs were always the formidable choice, and that's where India was booming, because a lot of these uh, bigger global system integrators was forming the place. Now there also comes niche company like us when we do certain kind of implementation or those niche implementation. So how do you think the importance of companies like Globalsoft or Data Infra will be playing alongside these bigger GSIs implementation? Any kind of recommendation or any kind of thought process around?
I always believed in that the GSI, mean, they're going to play a big role. They have the power, they have the money, they have the muscles. They
Mm-hmm.
can go and sell the project. They may not have the skills, but they have the power to sell the project and get the customer to buy into their ideas, then the vision. But then who does the work, right? They're going to need help, and they come to company like Data Infra, Global Soft at some
Mm-hmm.
time, looking for the key skills that they need to make sure the project will be successful. And that will continue to happen. There will be always company like Globalsoft and Data Infra. They'll bring that to the
Yep.
table. The skills, the, the expertise. They don't have it because they're dealing with hundreds of technology every single day.
Yeah. So other problem which we are seeing also in India is about the data residency. A lot of these countries have their own rules. India is also coming with their own policies, right? And US has been one of the pivotal. In that space, a lot of these data management companies are now moving towards cloud, right? And the on-premises implementations, which used to be a very big implementation, are changing the
Yeah.
landscape. So do you also see that migration and modernization can be one space which is really going to take over the market, and the data being distributed into multiple cloud systems now there?
Yeah, so that yet I think that we will see how it's going to turn out. All these rules that have been created by each country of their own.
Hmm.
They want the data to be kept in that country, and that creating the challenges for the companies who own the data and for the software companies who providing all these SaaS services.
Hmm.
Now they need to have these data centers all around the world. Which is, it's a lot of money you're talking about. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
cheap to build a data center and have a pod and maintain that pod, in 180 different countries in the world. It's just not
Mhm.
going to be. So we'll see how it's going to turn out, but it's going to cost more money eventually for the companies. Yeah.
Again, one of the key aspect for all these will be integration, where so specifically for these major cloud implementation, right? Do you think the AI adoption will be further being helped with these cloud adoptions, or do you think on-premise only will play a major factor because their data resides there, or how this is gonna frame out? Basically, because I have seen a lot of now the budget of IT has been passed based on AI, not being on data. So data is always being subsidized because of this AI buzz. So do you think these particular cloud adoptions or data on cloud adoption will help AI implementations?
I think it will definitely will help, right?
Mm,
Because you're going to have a AI system not sitting in your data center within the company. It sits in the cloud. You go use Azure, you go Amazon, you use Google Cloud, whatever you're going to use. So it's a little easier if your data sits with them to kind of use the AI. Um, so it's definitely going to help. But AI, we know it. No one to stop. No way to stop it today, right? It's going to happen. 5 years from today, we'll be talking about very different things about
mhm,
AI,
mhm.
right? And the world will change 5 years from today.
So, one thing which I was thinking, and we were really thinking, wherever we are implementing these MDM use cases, so every enterprise at least have understood that if they are gonna take this AI journey, one thing they really need to set up is their data platform. So enterprise data management is one space which is really booming because of these AI implementation. But in your recent talks or recent talks with client and all, have you seen anything being productionized based on AI use cases, and which industry predominantly is
Yeah.
taking that up?
So I haven't seen anybody saying, "Oh, I've gone live with AI using my data and I'm getting so much of uh, advantage out of it." I've not seen that. There's a lot of talk about the AI.
Mhm.
We want to use the AI, and one of the questions you asked, which I didn't answer fully, is that companies are labeling their projects as AI project, but it's easy to sell to CEO and CIO, right, by labeling AI on it, but underneath they are data project. We
Yeah,
think about it,
absolutely.
right? You have to get data ready, and then you feed into the AI. So you can do your queries, you can do analysis maybe quickly, but they are AI data project underneath.
So I was reading an article which one of our guys said that whether they are implementing or they are embarking on this journey, but ROI is not there, or they are not able to measure the ROI what AI is currently going to give on all those implementation. So one of the industry which I really think will make difference is pharma again. They have, as you rightly pointed out, they have started with MDM journey. Now the real use cases which really can come up is on the pharma use cases which can make differences. So do you think some of the pharma customers should really embark on this AI journey and make these use cases?
See, pharma is already using, from R&D perspective, they're always using AI quite a bit. Yeah, at
Hmm.
least in the US, what I hear and what I read about it, that they're going to be one of the biggest beneficiary of the AI,
Hmm.
right? Now, are they using for their business data or not? I'm not sure about it, but they will be using soon once they see the success, and they are already seeing the success on the R&D side of the things, right, with AI. Once they get the taste of it, they would want to move the AI into everywhere, right? And so we will see the pharma industry also using for their business processes, but business data. I think it's going to happen. It's a matter of time.
Mhm. So we talked a lot about the master data management aspect of it, but do you think the quality and governance should also be sandwiched with MDM implementation to ensure that the data or the foundation which you are setting up always remains right?
I'm a big believer in a quality, data quality, and data governance. And I tell customers, I've gone to a lot of customers and I look at their data. Oh, we have implemented MDM. We spent $1 million. We have been running it for 2 years. I said, look
Mhm.
at the data quality. You have not achieved your objectives, your goals you have set for your MDM system. The reason is they don't want to spend money hiring two data stewards
Hmm. Yeah,
to maintain the
absolutely,
data,
absolutely.
right? So you're spending $1 million a year to maintain the system. You're paying the maintenance. You have people. You have a hardware. You have software licenses, but you're not hiring those two or three data stewards you need. So I think that's a very important part of it. You cannot achieve a data quality until you really have data governance there, right? You have the data quality rules defined, um, and a lot of companies unfortunately miss out on that part.
So in your thought process for setting up a very good EDM platform, what do you think is the best approach? Best of breed product, or you should stick with a certain product and build the entire ecosystem? Because there are a lot of fragmented approach currently in the market. But based on your experience, what do you think is should be the best approach?
I'm a believer that you have to get your best of the breed products.
Okay.
And that's what I see it. That's what I've been doing it personally. It doesn't mean that you can use one platform.
Hmm.
Informatica provides a good platform, and I've been telling customers that Informatica has built a pretty nice platform that gives you all that. You have a data quality, you have a data integrations, of course, you have an MDM, and they're all well nicely integrated
Yeah.
as a platform. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's up to customers how they want to use it, what they believe, the skills they have it.
Hmm.
It's about the cost also factor. You have to
Yeah.
look at it. If you're going to get the best of the breed products, it's going to cost you a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what should be the approach? Because when we talk in India, specifically in this market, we are running the show, we are running the roads, and thing which we are saying is because of cost, right? The tooling aspect of it, they are not picking it up because of the cost and all, right? So most of them go to implement this on their own. They will start framing up their framework and start implementation. Or very rightly said by some guy in our team, they told that data quality is poor man's MDM, right? So they try to achieve a
Yep.
lot of MDM use cases through data quality only to cut on cost.
Yeah.
So do you think cost will be an important factor, and what do you advise customer to go with a tooling approach or to be built in their in-house MDM, building their own ecosystem and own use cases?
Yeah. So I have this phrase I keep using all the time. If a manager try to build a product that's available outside, that manager should be fired by the
Okay.
company. And I because I believe in that.
Hmm.
Don't try to build your own tools unless you really have expertise, you have the right people, resources to build it. Buy the product. There are lots of products available. There are a lot of companies who sell those products. You can find best of the breed product that fits your budget also.
Hmm.
Don't try to build it. I have known many companies that try to build MDM system for 5 years, millions of dollars, went down the tube, and they had to finally buy a product,
Hmm.
really, to make it happen, right? To make it successful. So I would not recommend IT departments. They're good with their data. They're good with their business processes to try to do engineering work.
Right. Now that also we feel, and that's how we are seeing the market also growing. Because one very good advantage with tooling approach comes is the kind of the speed up. You can always speed up
There
implementation,
you
where
go.
you have
Yeah.
almost lost 5 years implementing those things. You could have done, or you could have pivoted all
Yeah.
together to a different approach. So on your closing remarks, Raju, what do you think where we are going forward from here? See that.
You will see a lot more adoption of MDM over the years. And this partnership between Informatica and CRM company Salesforce, um, that's going to change things and for customers. They're going to have a lot more faith. Maybe they will get better deal. I don't know, but I do believe the adoption will increase quite a bit with this partnership between or integration of these two companies. Yeah.
Right. So that was Raj for all of us, speaking very candidly on the data management platform. We hope to see you soon, Raj, and look to collaborate and work together.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.